Okay, so continuing on with periodic reflections on the trip to the Holy Land. Yesterday was exciting. I actually recorded two half-an-hour shows at Catholic television with two of the pilgrims, Tracy and Kelly, and we talked about as much as you could talk about in only two half-an-hour shows. We didn't get a lot done, but we had fun doing it. Once again, if you like these videos, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. That would help a lot, and share it. Share it all over the place. Share it on Facebook. Share it everywhere. If you like these, go back to the other ones and share those too. So anyway, so the second day of the actual pilgrimage on site was an interesting day. It was actually September the 14th. It was the 51st anniversary of me entering the Navy. And coincidentally, I went to the Holy Land while I was in the Navy, but obviously I wasn't as spiritually developed as I am now when I was in the Navy back in those days. This was a very interesting day. We started at in Cana, and it was the wedding church at Cana, and the married couples got to renew their wedding vows, which was pretty interesting. We learned that the holy sites that are that Rome has been able to take ownership of, like the church at Cana, are actually under the control of the Franciscans, who are charged with taking care of them. And we have a lot of respect for the Franciscans and all that they do. After that, we went to the Church of the Annunciation, which was very interesting because here we are in this church, and we watched the noon Angelus at this huge church, and it was just fabulous how the clergy processed in with incense, went into the site of the Annunciation, did the Angelus, and I mean it was just incredibly breathtaking to see all of that. We then went to Mount Tabor, which is where the Transfiguration happened, and there is an interesting church there where you have Moses and Jesus and Elijah on a mosaic up in the ceiling, just absolutely fabulous. It's built, the church, a lot of these churches were built by this architect who rebuilt these churches after they had been destroyed. And he built this one with three sections to kind of represent the three tents that Peter said that they could build for Jesus, Elijah, and Moses. And very interesting, very interesting. It's an incredible place. And then it's a lot of driving around because some of these places are kind of far from each other, and seeing these places, just absolutely incredible. We got to say Mass at these holy sites, and it was just a very breathtaking experience to see these sites. But the interesting part of the day, despite the day of seeing the Angelus at the Church of the Annunciation, and going to Cana, and then going to Mount Tabor, we got back to our hotel, which was on the Sea of Galilee, and we all went, not all of us, but most of us went and actually swam in the Sea of Galilee. Got a bottle of water from the Sea of Galilee, actually filled it up ourselves, which was pretty interesting. There was a lot of chance for relaxation there. We got to get in the pool, The days were filled with a lot of walking, from the bus to where the church was, and through the church, and through the tour, the pilgrimage site, and then you get real kind of sweaty, and you get back in the bus, and the air conditioner cools you off. Then you go to the next site, you get hot and sweaty again, and you get in the bus and you cool down. So we were getting used to the walking. We didn't go to a lot of sites that day, but when we got back to the hotel, that's when we said, yeah, we need to relax here. So we did, and it was very nice. And we all made up a pact that we would see the sunrise the next day, because our rooms were oriented toward the sea, and the sunrise came on the other side of the sea. So we watched across the Sea of Galilee the sunrise coming up from the east. It was just an incredible sight. And so we had dinner and we relaxed, and we got to know some of the people there at the hotel. There were some other groups that were pilgrimage, and once again, one of the serious things that we were very beneficially fortunate about was that we had a tour guide that was a holy Christian, and an archaeologist, and he was able to really instruct us in various aspects of the scripture, how it relates to places we were seeing, and so on and so forth. So we had a chance to cool off, have dinner, kind of relax. We had to pack up because the next day we were heading to Bethlehem at the end of the day. So we had to take our luggage with us. So there was a little bit of organizational stuff that we had to go through. But anyway, today's talk is shorter because we didn't see as many sites, but we're gearing up for the remainder of it, which is a great pilgrimage. I do want to remind you, though, for those that maybe have not seen the first ones, of the plight of the Christians in the Holy Land. Take Bethlehem, for example, where just 20 years ago there was 85% Christians, and now there's 12, and it's basically a Muslim takeover. And so we need to pray for those people that did remain, that are digging their heels in and protecting those holy sites, so that they can be protected for the Christian pilgrims that come to experience the reality that Jesus did walk the earth at that place, and to get the religious experience, the spiritual growth that comes from visiting those places. So we need to always be aware of the sacrifice that the ones that remain are making for us. It's a very kind of difficult time. Tomorrow, when I proceed with day 3, we'll be talking about our trip to the Sea of Galilee and the Mount of the Beatitudes. So stay tuned for tomorrow. Once again, like the video and subscribe to the channel, and more to come tomorrow. God bless everybody.